What's going on, everybody? This is Brandon,
Stefan.
and welcome back to the Kingdom, or welcome if this is your first time. Guys, thank you so much for all the support you guys have been showing the channel lately. I was actually just looking at all that yesterday. It's been incredible because we've been revamping things. You've been seeing a lot of new people that you have not seen before, and it has been so well received. So thank you guys very much. This video has a lot of firsts. Okay, there are a lot of firsts going on in this video. This is my first official video as part of the PCP Army Bad Batch Station. To my fellow brothers and to the community as well. I love you guys, and I really do appreciate everything that's been coming my way to this channel. And to my friends too, with the comic community awards, they're all worth it. Thank you guys so much for all of the support and all the love you guys have been showing to make this place the most positive environment it can be. The other thing, this is the first time you're seeing Missing Lynk on the show. Station. Link is a great friend, and he knows his stuff. So Link's on the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me, B.
No problem. You are always welcome. And you guys are going to see more Missing Link 2 with our show Archives. That's going to be coming out this Friday, where we're going to be reviewing Shang-Chi with my friend Michael as well, who you're going to be seeing a lot more as well, for the love of comics over on TikTok and YouTube. Everyone's links are in the description below. So we're definitely branching out more as a channel. This is probably also one of the first live streams I've ever done on a Wednesday. I don't recall me ever being live on a Wednesday, especially here. So I know this is odd, but we're going to move this to a premiere next week. We just have some stuff going on. But this is kind of the revamp of Crisis on Infinite Rants. I know that was a show where I just went off the hook, talked about, yelled about, whatever the hell I wanted to complain about. But we're reconstructing it to more of a structured conversation of fun comic book topics, just having fun, but also being a little more informational. Or we're going to be talking about news, but everything's been pretty boring, or we've already covered it, like the since past retcon that is so fulfilling that it's gone. But today we are going to be talking about XMen, which has kind of been taking Marvel Comics by storm. It's been the talk of Marvel for the last year and a half with Jonathan Hickman. And especially now that Hickman is going to be departing for a good period of time, we're putting his portion of the X-Men world on hiatus. But today we are here to see which X-Men characters we think should be getting more love, some more attention, because we see them all. They're all here. I cannot think of a mutant that we have not really seen before or have yet to see in comics. But we might get into some pitches on where we would see this going, or some creative teams we'd like to see give these characters that extra push that they deserve. I'm going to start it off by talking about Cyclops, because actually, no, I'm not going to talk about Cyclops. I don't like him. I'm not going to put him first. I'm going to put Banshee first. So, Banshee, Sean Cassidy.
Okay.
I would love to see a miniseries by Banshee, written and drawn by Declan Shalvey, because I know that's his favorite character, both Irish descent. Now, I was rereading X-Men 101 the other day, and I could not help but to think, where has the Cassidy Keep been all this time? His brother, Black Tom Cassidy, has gotten a lot more screen time than Sean, and Sean is a very essential character. Also, his connect with Moira McTaggart could be retconned a lot, so this could be a great way to give Bronze Age fans their service, and also kind of bring new light into Banshee and give him a voice, pun intended. I would love, but also, right? You can even retcon it with the Terra Verendi going on an X-Force, taking over the Cassidy Keep. You can do so much stuff going on. Maybe Fing Fang Foom took over the castle. That would be dope to see. Even though I don't like Fing Fang Foom, that'd be cool to see. But I think that would be a great story to tell, and a great introspective story to see how Banshee kind of juggles these two lives, these two different locations. Also, because that's not on Krakoa, the Juggernaut could come back and play a key role in there.
Oh yeah.
So okay. I like that.
I don't dispute that. I forgot about. I can't believe I forgot about it. But Banshee and Moira McTaggart used to have a thing. Like Banshee and Emma had a thing going on during Generation X briefly.
I feel like everyone's had a thing with Emma Frost, though.
Not everybody. Only the leaders, should you say? But no, people do forget that he's very integral to the X-Men. He was part of the 7 that went saved the giant size, that went
Right.
saved the OG5 from Krakoa. But yeah, it is odd that he hasn't really received any spotlight since he's been back. Like, I know they brought him back because he was dead, right?
He was
He's been
dead. They brought him back, and then he just
right,
disappeared.
right,
But I would like him to like go back to Cassidy Keep on a vacation. You could even tell it like that. No one would care because it wasn't exactly an essential plot point. But you can still put him there, and he can just walk through his childhood memories, give you that history because he remembers everything. And I
yeah.
think that would be really perfect for Banshee. I also think Christian Ward would do a great job drawing that, especially because of how well he handled Black Bolt. I feel like those characters really go hand in hand.
I like that. I like that Christian Word. Yeah,
I
that'd be
would
a
love to see
nice
Christian.
move. Yeah.
Even G. Willow Wilson, I think if she came back to Marvel, could write a killer Banshee story, and that's the Invisible Kingdom team from Dark Horse. That was phenomenal. So it works out perfectly.
I didn't have to read that.
It was great. It was an Eisner winner from last year, not this year, but the previous year.
Kingdom.
Invisible Kingdom. It was Dark Horse. Station Travis, what is going on, my friend? PCP Army Bad Batch member. If you guys know it's Whiplash Wednesday, so you know the schedule. What's going on, John? So we started with Nick's show, his LCS comic book haul, and then we went over to the Blame Fable show, and then we went to TM chatting with the comic community with the Rogue Trader, the Tom Brady of the pressing community, best in the business. And then now we're here after we're going to go hang out with her and Bullseye Bob on Sam's Tangle Web talking about Frank Miller's Daredevil. Then we're finishing off the night with the Tomorrow Show with the What Are You Geeking Out About, where it's whatever you're collecting, whatever your fiend is, whatever your niche is that you're collecting or consuming for that matter. Like for me, I'm on a big hardcover paperback lust, even more so that I suckered into buying this BS book to really further for Archives. So if you see this on Archives, just know I overpaid. What's going on, X11 Bravo? Glad to see you in the chat today. What is up, Bryce Hillbilly Comics? Another pillar of the infrastructure that is ComixKings. I couldn't do the show without Link, Bryce, and Michael, and Brian, and all the guys that have been coming on. We got Brother Joe in here, the man, the Chiefs fan. We're going to see you in December, brother. We're going to see you in December. We got Mr. Nick, Comic Culture Station. And Nick's also going to be dropping at 5 o'clock today, another video as well. We got Robin Comics all the way from Australia. What is going on, my man? If you guys want to find a Robin book, it's in his collection, so definitely give him a follow on Instagram because it's there. And Robin was also one of the original followers that of ComixKings when we were doing content over on IGTV last year. Nice. So it's always great to have that support. And he also sent me this poster not too long ago as an AOK that it's going in a frame.
Wow, that's dope. All the
Robin signed by Nicola Scott. So wow. And what's going on, Stephen M? Station to you, my friend. But Link, who is a character that you would like to see get more of that attention?
Havoc, easily.
Havoc.
Yes, I'm a big fan of Havoc. Mostly, I think my finest comes from the Peter David X Factor run.
Yeah.
It was like, the corporate team, the corporate team. But I thought he looked cool, and I like the fact that he's always trying to get from under Scott's shadow, and at the same time he doesn't want to live up to Scott, so he's an interesting character to me.
Right. I don't know if you ever read Uncanny Avengers, for anyone who's done that, by Rick Remender, and Daniel and Suna did the art, and Jerome Opeña, who also did the art at some points, and John Cassidy did it. So you have some of the Seven to Eternity team, and you have a lot of your heavy hitters in the early 2000s. Fantastic, right, man. Then and there. So Havoc was actually the leader of that team.
Captain America handpicked him for that.
Yeah, squad. Captain America did. So you know that Havoc has that leadership responsibility.
Exactly.
And he was kind of in some trouble with predecessing the Hellions book, kicking that off to put him in the hands of Sinister. I'd like to see more information on that. So maybe we can get because we're in the reign of Krakoa, we can always do a flashback story to the dawn of Krakoa leading up to the Hellions book, just saying, hey, look, this makes perfect sense.
Right.
Or maybe at the end of Hellions ending in December, maybe that could be an avenue for us to learn more about Havoc, who's been a decent character in there.
Yeah, I was hoping that like his arc, because I know how he's being written right now isn't necessarily Zeb Wells' fault because he was already going through stuff. Because what was it, the Axis? Yeah,
Yeah,
conversion. Yeah, but yeah, but hopefully it's just to get him back to where he was. Where Captain America,
previously.
like he picked him because he's like Scott can be very I don't want to say narrow minded, but focused in his set in his ways sometimes. Like what I say goes. Like Havoc's more
Right.
reasonable.
Right.
He'll hear people out.
I would say Scott is more emotionally reactive instead of mission objective than Havoc is. I would say Havoc is more of, I would say he's more of a Dick Grayson in the sense that
Yeah,
he's concerned for everyone on the team. He doesn't leave anyone behind, but he's still able to accomplish the objective and not let his emotions really get the best of him,
exactly.
which,
I like that. I've always used that comparison, like Scott's Batman and Havoc's Dick. Like
yeah. And now speaking on the Summers family, I would love, love, love to see kind of this a Summers like mini series. Just call it the Summers or keep it up with the Summers. It's just I don't know. I don't care what you
that would
call it.
work. Yeah, I buy
Keep it
that.
up with the
I buy
Summers
it.
because they have their own little like they have like their own moon. Really, they have
Yeah,
like they live on the
yeah,
moon. They all live together, and there's a lot of stuff going on with Scott and Jean that like I love to see return because I love them as a couple, but I'd also like to see how they're getting along with Corsair and Vulcan, and this is really the first time in history that we're seeing the Summers family all together in one
yeah,
happy home. It's just they're
yeah.
not doing anything with them.
Missed opportunity. Yeah,
They had the arc with the Brood, and that was it. And dealing with the Brood, that was it. And then Cable came in, and most of their interactions were actually in the Cable book as a family,
yeah, yeah.
which to me that's a little lackluster. And Scott, to me, my biggest frustration with Scott, if you guys have been watching this channel, I'm very outspoken on my dislike of Scott Summers, which is still very much there. The reason why I don't blame the character for why he sucks, I blame every writer that's written him because they don't write him to his full potential. Like you look at characters like Wolverine, you look at characters like Jean Grey. Why are they so elevated in their status? Is because they've had that treatment. I could even argue Emma Frost has gotten more treatment than Cyclops. He had that one series that Russell Dodderman did the art early in his career on. I forget who wrote it. I want to say it was Sam Humphries.
It was
But
I think it was Greg Rucka.
Greg Rucka, right. But it was him as a teenager, really.
Yeah,
It wasn't really the Cyclops that I want as a leader, or more of an introspective story to really show his powers, right? Now, if Cyclops went all out, let's say he like lashed out, he would be one of the most powerful mutants and he would be taken seriously. Writers,
have you read the Astonishing X-Men Joss Whedon or
I did.
You didn't think he was written well in that?
I think that was the best iteration we've had of him. The only thing I have against Astonishing X-Men is the way that they did Beast, and I was like, that sucks. But
what was wrong with the way
they drew him like he belonged in Lady and the Tramp.
Oh, you don't like John Cassidy's rendition?
I didn't like John Cassidy's rendition
John
of
Cassidy
Beast.
is a god.
I really didn't. There's a caterpillar. I don't know if you guys can see this caterpillar that's like right here, but it's like driving my ADHD like nuts right now. But I would love to see a family-based Summers book. Now, I was reading the Avengers Illuminati series by Brian Michael Bendis and Jim Shang 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And that book is a bunch of guys sitting around in a room. If you guys watched Rock and Robbie last night, he didn't like Justice League because sometimes it's a lot of guys just sitting around in a room. For me, I like that when it's productive. Just a lot of guys sitting around talking about what to do, how to lead, and what's yet to come. I think that's something that you can achieve in the Summers family and have that. See, it's right there. You see it? It's like a little speck.
Okay,
right yeah. But you can achieve that with the Summers family book, and you can get all those personalities in one room. I would love that, coming from a character that knows how to write dialogue. I would love to see like Muhammad Aswar draw it, Irby Silva, Lionel Francis Yu. I think Lionel would do a fantastic job drawing that. Considering he drew dialogue for the most part of his career working with Bendis, I don't think that's any different. As for who would write it, I would love to see Hickman. I would love to see Hickman come back and do it because I think that would be more. I think that consumption of dialogue would be more well received versus if Teenie Howard wrote it, because I think the biggest difference between Teenie Howard and Jonathan Hickman as writers, especially when they're writing dialogue, for Hickman, you pay attention more to the dialogue just based off reputation and just based off of, okay, you know that Hickman has a point. Teenie Howard sometimes can be a little astray in what she's trying to say. And I love Teenie Howard.
Oh, we know. But we've seen Hickman, we've seen him do family well in Fantastic Four, you know, like, so why not? Did you say Bendis or Hickman?
I said Hickman.
Okay.
I mean, Hickman also did a really good Secret Warriors, which was all dialogue for the first volume.
I love Secret Warriors.
Secret Warriors is so good. I could see that little reunion with Stefano Caselli writing that or drawing that book too, or Stefan Segovia. I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see it, or I could see Nick Dragata drawing it too. But if you guys know Hickman, he definitely has his eye out for younger artists to take the industry by storm. So I just want to see the Summers family be written and not retcons like they were in X-Men Legends with it was like Adam X or something.
But that's more so playing off like
that was playing off 90s, right? That was playing off.
Right. That's, you know, some fans kind of wanted to see that plot thread play out, you know. So it's like that's kind of like what if tells for the X-Men. I don't mind it.
Yeah, but a lot of times when the Summers are written, because they're such a dramatic family, that's all they focus on instead of, okay, can we put our bullshit behind us and move forward? And I think that would be more achievable through a mind like Hickman.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, or even Al Ewing, I think could handle that cast very well, especially for how he deals with characters.
I agree.
But who's another one on your list?
Chamber. I am a big fan of Chamber. Just because I feel like with the mutants or X-Men, you know, you're supposed to be like they're supposed to represent mutant kind, and some mutants shouldn't make sense. Like, you know, I don't understand his powers work. I just think he looks really cool. Like you know Chamber, right?
Not as familiar. So why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
So Chamber was in Generation X, like the New Mutants of the 90s. But like his lower half of his jaw to like his chest is like blown off because he doesn't have a lower half of his jaw because there's just like fire here, just all the time. And he can speak. He doesn't have a mouth, obviously, so he like speaks to people in their head. So he's kind of telepathic to an extent. But he just visually looks really, really cool. But in the past, they've always had him like cover up his flames with like scarves and stuff. And it would still leave like an imprint of him having a jaw. I don't understand how that would work. You know, he covers it up with a jaw and he's got like the shape of a mouth. But he just looks really cool and he's powerful. So I think Chamber would be
100%. Aggressively relaxing. How are you doing today, my friend? Happy new comic book day. As someone who's reading current X-Men, the Summers family has been having some wonderful moments. I agree with that, but also I'd like to see them more explored because we don't get that a lot.
Absolutely.
Especially because like this, there are a lot of firsts, not first appearances in the X-Men run right now, but a lot of firsts that we've never exactly seen before.
Yeah.
I think now more than ever, I would like to see, I know that the New Mutants are getting their love and attention, but those are more of like your new X-Men characters, not exactly your older ones. Like, yeah, Karma's in there. Wolfsbane's getting her arc right now. Cannonball's here and there. Boom Boom's there. So you have some characters, but it's more focused on Scout right now. And I would actually love to see Magic get more of her story heard. Especially, again, because I'm a huge fan of characters that juggle dual lives, especially on Krakoa. Because it's like, okay, obviously they leave. Like, obviously Magic goes back to Limbo. What's she doing over there? How does she balance the two worlds? Almost like how Betsy Braddock is able to balance living in Otherworld, living in Britain, and living in Krakoa, all at the same time. So I think that would be the perfect opportunity for us to get a Magic miniseries. She didn't get a whole lot of love outside of Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is really her moment to shine, in which we've learned that the creative teams on the book love Magic. Absolutely want to give Magic that fan service. However, because the cast was so big and she was dealing with characters just like Gorgon, Wolverine, who already experienced Her job was mostly teaching Cypher how to use a sword. What is going on, Sith Lordly? Big shout out to my man Sith Station. Big congrats on 1K. Make sure y'all tune into Spine Ticks this weekend for their 1K subscriber giveaway. I'm going to be giving away a book. Sith's going to be giving away more books. So it's going to be a lot of time. We're just giving out Christmas gifts in the fall. So tune in, celebrate, and celebrate in true Spine Tick style. So refill your 12 packs.
Always a good time with Sith.
Always a good time, man. But you know, Matt, like I said, Magic is such a cool character. I would love to see Chris Bachalo handle that artwork. I don't know why.
Like that would be really chaotic, man. Like especially if Magic would go to limbo and it's just things are abstract there to begin with. Like,
but it's Chris Bachalo who did an excellent job on Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And there we go. Bring your own keg. Oh my gosh, then we're not gonna have any for Football Sunday. What's up, Big Herm? Happy Whiplash Wednesday, my brother Big Herm. We're gonna catch him right after this show today. But yeah, I think Bachalo could bring that abstractness that Magic could do. Like the reason why I don't want to more of like a pinup artist or more of a flowy artist that goes like your more conventional like comic book is because I think a lot of times, like, yeah, Magic is really attractive, but I want that. I don't really want that to be a big distraction from the book. I want her story to be told and really how she reacts. And I think getting into her magic side, because we really have not get at magic side, but more of her mystical side.
I could do it. Yeah.
Like, I think Bachalo would do a great job with that more than most other people. You look at what Humberto Ramos right now is doing with Strange Academy, which Magic has like had her bits in. I think it would be great. As for who's writing it, I'd like to see Ed Brisson give it a shot. I really would. I would like to see Ed Brisson come back. Oh man, that's funny as shit last week. So I don't know. We were talking about Daredevil, right? And someone said, so we were talking about Daredevil getting arrested, taken over the jail, and someone said, yeah, we've all been arrested before. I said, yeah, I've been grounded several times.
Similar experiences.
They're pretty similar. I mean, I didn't have a defense attorney. I mean, I had my dog next to me, but that doesn't count. There was no jury. Yeah, it kind of sucked. All right, Link, who's your next character?
I would like to see more love for Phantom X. I would like to see a miniseries written by Hickman with either Isad Ribic on art or Matteo Scalera. I think that'd be really dope.
I think Scalera would be a much better fit for Phantom X book.
Yeah, but you can't go wrong with Hickman and Isad. That's just facts. So, but yeah, right. Matteo would be a better fit.
I think go ahead.
No, I really love Phantom X. Just the snarkiness, the cockiness, but he gets results. Like he's a one-man army in a sense. He's just a far out there concept. Of course, a Morrison creation is going to be a crazy concept, but the fact that his nervous system lives outside of him and is what would be the word? Self-aware, conscious, Eva?
Self-conscious is id, ego, and super ego.
Yeah. He's a very cool character. Like him, very futuristic James Bond, if you will.
Right. Yeah, Phantom X would be cool. I think if you did do a Phantom X book, you also have to include by law Bishop in that, because if you're going, I think that would be a cool pairing. I think Bishop would be a very cool pairing. Because Bishop and Phantom X going hand in hand, just kicking ass together, going through time would be fantastic. Bishop, of course,
buddy cop.
Huh?
Like a buddy cop thing.
Yeah, or like a Red Hood and Arsenal type agreement. That would be just, but with time travel.
Why Phantom X for time travel?
Well, Bishop time travels.
Well, yeah, but why would he Phantom X is a super thief. Like, I mean, he does help out, but why would you want Fable Station?
What's up, Fable? Great show today, brother. Great show.
Oh,
Make sure y'all catch the replay to Fables, the Blame Fable show. Like I said, I picked this up and I blame Fable 100%. Actually, I blame my LCS owner saying, if you're going to hate the book, you might as well buy it instead of nicking on it for free.
whenever
Like,
you
okay.
having like buyer's remorse, don't feel down to yourself. We created Blame Fable for a reason. The hashtag Blame Fable for a reason. Just blame Fable. I feel a lot better. Take the load off your shoulders.
Fable, you suck. Blame on blame. But I don't know. I think the Phantom X and Bishop duo will be great just because their characters are so different from each other. I think just that contrast in and of itself would be great. Their morals would clash a lot because, like, a lot of, I don't know, Bishop has definitely done some illegal things, or like he's definitely gone against most of his morals for something that'll help the future, help the greater good. And I think him and Phantom X would just have a great pair just doing that and like fixing a lot of the wrongs.
No, they could have an interesting to that.
This is how I could pitch it. So a lot of the wrongs that Krakoa did for the world in the future, you could have Phantom X and Bishop time traveling to the future to see like how Krakoa affected the United States in the future, or England in the future, or Russia in the future, and correcting those wrongs there by like kind of fixing it. I don't know. I'm thinking on this other spot. I think that would be pretty dope.
That's fine.
It's an interesting concept. It's a very interesting concept.
I've never thought of that, but I would read something like that. I'm so fond of Remender's Uncanny X-Force. Like, I'm so stuck on Phantom X just always being on the hit squad for the
right.
But I wouldn't mind seeing, like, that would be interesting. I think they would have an interesting banter back and forth between each other.
I would love to see Zeb Wells write it just because of the comedy, but
absolutely,
and I don't usually pitch Zeb Wells for something because I don't like Zeb Wells all that much.
What?
So if I'm doing
what have you read by Zeb Wells?
I read his earlier Spider-Man. I just wasn't a fan. I've read. He did some X-Men. I didn't like. I don't know. Early Zeb Wells was not there for me, man. It's just. I just think he's so lighthearted. It's missable. He has a very hard time capturing my attention just because of how much I don't care about some of the concepts he envelops in humor.
I can respect that. He is a very humorous writer, but
he's a very humorous writer. It's just he doesn't really push any concepts forward. I think he has to with Hellions simply because it's under Hickman. But I think Hellions is the weakest book for me just because nothing really happened. There's just moments that I remember, but not a whole lot of plot points.
I mean, if anything, it pushed. It didn't necessarily push any of the characters that we expected, like Havoc. But Scalp Hunter, I forget his. I know they're not calling him that.
Grey Crow.
And
Ugly
Quanin,
Child or whatever.
She's gotten decent.
Quanin's in there. She's getting love. But I would love to see a Psylocke book. You know what? Okay, shut up. Don't look at me like that. But so in a recent Excalibur book, they introduced the concept of them growing apart, and that was a very subtle point. And I would like to have that. I would like to have that. That's just enough said,
As long as you're not gonna pick who I think you're thinking of for
Teeny Howard. Yeah. I'd keep Marcus Toe drawing it.
Okay.
I would keep Marcus Toe drawing it, but as for writing, I'd have to think on that more. I don't know why the first person that comes to my head is Nick Spencer, but that's also because like I'm looking at a Spider-Man comic across the room. But I don't know. That's a good one. I don't know. Next started hurting me because of Whiplash Wednesday. I took 2 bacons and started feeling better. The show is sponsored by Bacon. Brandon wants more love for Polaris. Nothing could ever compete for my love of Polaris. She is my wife. Yeah. I just don't wear the ring on this channel.
She's doing pretty good. She's in the big leagues now. She's been part of the X-Men before, but
I'm excited. She's getting a lot of fun moments. I'm here for it.
She is.
And then who's the last character I literally just had in mind? But I'll let you. Oh yeah, Archangel. I would like if they don't do the Psylocke book, I would like to see an Archangel pitch, not an Angel pitch. Archangel. I don't want to see a businessman Warren Worthington. I want to see him. I want to see him trying to move past his life as Archangel, and kind of what's going on now that Apocalypse is out of the picture. Right? He's basically in Araco. He's gonna come back. I think that would be a great way to move that plot point because technically Archangel is still a henchman of Apocalypse. Did Cyclops already come up? Yes, he did. We did talk about the Summers family at length, and I did not crap on it as much as most people think I would. That's a dub. First time for everything. But I think that would be great, and especially him getting over his relationship with Betsy. Just a lot of those concepts from the 90s, I think we can relive in him moving past that. I'm all for Nick.
Sorry not to interrupt, but this kind of speaks on his relationship with Betsy. I'd like to see like a little love triangle between him, Betsy, and Kawhinan, because physically, he's been with Kawhinan. It just would be a weird dynamic because you would find himself attracted to her. I feel like, even though that's not the same person.
Right. So I feel like there are different elements of Kawhinan that he would be attraced to, and different elements of Betsy.
Absolutely.
I don't know. This is like a Bachelor story.
It's a love triangle story, not a Bachelor story. A love triangle story.
That would be an interesting concept. Honestly, would be a lot of fun, and I think that would be very comical too. Also, if it turned out to be the Cyclops, Wolverine, and Jean Grey situation, I think Warren would be a very, very happy person on Krakoa at the end of the day. We're already getting more Cable. We've gotten enough Cable, and now we're getting Old Man Cable, who's off with Sword, so that's pretty exciting. Other than that, there have been news that we are going to see a person come back. We're seeing Onslaught come back, which we know. We're seeing Mara getting more attention, but we're also going to see Madeline Pryor in December come back. So what that leads to next, that's the final issue of Hellions. Where do you think that they're going to go with that story?
I don't know. You think she'll tie into Inferno? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Hopefully this is like a redemption, like the end point. Like if this Hellions, like you said, it's just could have been kind of like a series of moments. But if it ends with like Havoc being redeemed, I'll be happy. Like because he's been trying to get them to resurrect Madeline, and of course they're not going to do it. So because he's not obsessed, I guess, but just has a fondness for her.
Yeah, I would say it's more of an attachment.
Yeah. But if he can get over that, like I think he's gonna be put in a position where he's gotta choose her or the squad and trying to do the right thing or redeem himself, which he's been trying to do. So I think, it'll end like that.
I agree. Now, what's to come in the future with Madeline Pryor? I couldn't begin to tell you because I have to look at that more closely. I think the next issue is going to be setting up a lot of things, considering that they are going to be in their final arc.
I think she'll be back. I can see them bringing Goblin Queen back. That'd be cool.
Right, but would she be her own character? Would she go off and do her own thing, or are we going to see a new side of this character, treat her like a new character, or are we going to get more of the Destiny treatment? What is up, brother Rudy? Station. So to me, that's like a lingering aspect. Like we've seen Scout, who is technically a clone, envelop into her own character.
Yeah. I mean, Laura as well.
But I'd like to see Madeline get a shot at redemption as well.
I could dig that.
Going forward.
Speaking of buddy cops, I would I was thinking of your idea of Phantom X and Bishop. I'd like to see a miniseries of Cannonball and Sunspot, just focusing on their dynamic as friends. I really would wanted to see both of them on the X-Men, because Sunspot has never been on the X-Men, but we know Cannonball was back in the 90s, but just them both on the team at the same time, I think you would really have a lot of cool moments.
Oh, a character we haven't really seen is Spiral from the Mojoverse. And I'm so happy we don't see Mojo, by the way. I don't like that character. Like, if there's a character I dislike more than Cyclops, it's Mojo.
I like Mojo World, the idea of that place, but Mojo, he's a very obnoxious character. I'll give you that. He's
Right.
supposed to be, though, you know? That's,
He's supposed to be. He looks like shit, too, so I don't... I don't know. It's like if Jabba had an evil cousin. Oh, wait, Zero. Sorry. But if they had... Y'all know what I'm trying to say. But, yeah, we really have not seen much of them. We've seen a little bit of Shatterstar, so I think that could get enveloped a little bit more. North Star. I'm trying to think because I know that I've touched on this before, but other than that, I got nothing else. That's just really what I would like to see coming from the X-Men world right now.
I got a few more honorable mentions. Zorn, Pete Wisdom, Marrow, and
yes,
Hellion.
Okay.
From the new X-Men.
Yes.
I was pretty fond of him, but he's not been used in a number of years, but when they first used him, he had like an interesting arc going on.
I'd like to see a Kid Omega story. I think that'd be a fun little miniseries. That character's been getting a lot of attention in X-Force, so I think if he had a miniseries, it would sell.
Yeah.
100%. Kid Omega's a fun character.
Chris Bacalo on, is that how you say his last name?
Pachalo.
I'm sorry, my bad. Jeez, I butchered that. But I would like to see him on a Kid Omega series. That'd be pretty dope.
That would be dope. I would see a lot of Grant Morrison concepts are still existing today, and that's awesome.
Testament to
I'm so glad we don't really see Glob more. Like I'm happy we saw him for like a minute and he was gone.
I don't get people's fondness for him.
Yeah. I know in the Uncanny X-Men book before they relaunched everything, he was like right there. I was like, not happening. Glob was there, and then there are a few other concepts, like characters that were there that I didn't like. I don't know why they're not coming to mind, but yeah, I wasn't a fan of Glob that much. Or Beak too. I don't.
I dig Beak. Sorry, he's
I didn't dig that arc. I didn't dig that New Mutants arc. He did get the girl, but it was also kind of unnecessary. We've seen the Morlocks coming in. What is up, John Thomas? But anyway, you guys,
Travis.
Thank you guys so much for catching the show. Next week is going to be pre-recorded, and we're going to be picking out our topic, whatever news comes out. We're going to be letting you guys know very shortly. Follow everyone's links in the description below. We're hanging out with Big Herm later on. Creators Corner at the end of the month. Terry Dodson and Matt Fraction with the kickoff of Adventure Man Season 2 coming back. And then followed by creators throughout October that I am excited to get to be able to announce. So thank you guys so much on that front. Weekly wrap up every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. A new episode of Archives comes out every single Friday. We're going to be doing a different book every single week. I think this Friday is going to be Shang-Chi, and then the one next week is going to be, I think we're going to do 3 Jokers instead of Tower of the Babel. We're going to do 3 Jokers instead of Tower of the Babel, so that's news to you, Link.
Yeah.
Whoops. Well, we just decided that this morning. But hey, what's going on, Manny? Good to see you here. Check out Manny tonight. So, and if you guys are catching on the replay, give it a like, subscribe if you are new. Thank you guys for hanging out on this Wednesday afternoon, evening. Thank you guys so much. Station.